My brother's chosen bride happened to be the daughter of a bank executive. "Please, do not come to the wedding," she implored. She despised me, a high school dropout working in construction. My brother is the only family I have, yet she threatened to cancel the marriage if I attended. "Please, do not interfere any further," she pleaded. Wanting my brother to be happy, I had no choice but to accept her request. However, where is the groom's brother? My absence caused the wedding to plunge into chaos. My name is Steve Zahn. One morning, on my day off, I woke up to a call from my younger brother Harry. "Hey, Steve, you're off today, right?" "Yeah, I was actually asleep," I replied, listening to him as I got up and headed to the bathroom. "I met someone I want to marry, and I'd like you to meet her," he said. I was taken aback and now completely wide awake. I was delighted to see my brother all grown up. Harry and I had always been there for each other. Our mother divorced when we were young, worked on her own, and provided for us. I barely remember anything about our father because he was rarely at home. I often looked after Harry, who was still in daycare while I was in middle school, in place of our mother, who came home late from work. "Sorry, then I have to go to work again." "Here's some dinner, heat it up and eat it with Harry," she would say. "Got it. I'll give him a bath first, though, he falls asleep in the middle of dinner these days." "All right, thank you, Steve." One day, our peaceful life was disrupted when our mother decided we would go to our grandparents' house. She left us in the care of our grandparents and never returned. Harry, who was still very young, felt lost without her mother and cried every night. During those times, I read in books, held his hand as we slept, and distracted him from his sorrows. "Where's Mom? Is she coming home today, Grandpa?" he asked. It always hurt to hear that, and I don't remember when I started saying I didn't know. Our grandparents, despite being angry at our mother, raised us lovingly. I still remember how happy I was to have warm meals ready for me every day. When I began to accept that our mother wouldn't come back, I realized that I was the only one who could protect Harry. When Harry started elementary school and some local bullies started messing with him, I scared them off by swinging around the broom our grandmother always used. "Well, this guy's older brother's crazy," I'd run. The reason I started thinking about learning boxing was because I had this compelling desire to become stronger to protect my little brother, Harry. In the end, there wasn't any boxing gym available in our rural hometown in Kansas. Instead, our grandpa took me fishing on his days off. Standing in front of the sea, I felt how small I was. When I cast my fishing line into the water, I felt a sense of calm that I didn't usually experience in my busy life. I grew fond of fishing and started leaving Harry in the care of our grandmother to go fishing with our grandfather. I began going every week, and Mr. Groan, one of my grandfather's fishing buddies, also became a friend. I secretly thought that if my father was still around, he would be about Mr. Groan's age, and it always made me happy when I saw him. "Do you have any idea what you want to be when you grow up, Steve?" Mr. Groan asked me while we were fishing. I want to be a regular office worker, earn money so my younger brother and grandparents can live more comfortably," I said. "Steve, you've got the hardest, biggest ocean. You'll be fine, just keep doing your best," he told me. Those words have saved me many times since. When I started high school, I studied hard so I could earn money. Then, one day, my grandmother fainted. She was admitted to the hospital, and immediately after, my grandfather fainted too and passed away. We were able to hold a small funeral after explaining our circumstances to the people at the local funeral home. Knowing that her grandmother couldn't come, my brother Harry suggested that we go to the fishing spot to look for Mr. Groan because he thought Grandpa would be lonely. When we told Mr. Groan about our grandfather's sudden death, he quickly prepared and attended the funeral. The next day, "Steve, I'm sorry to make you worry. I'll get better soon." My grandmother, who couldn't attend the funeral, seemed dispirited after my grandfather's death. "You take it easy in the hospital, we're fine at home. Harry's going to be in middle school next year, he's old enough," I reassured her. "Well, then there are things I should tell you, Steve," she replied. And during her hospitalization, she told me details about household matters and financial matters. However, just when we thought she was recovering, her condition suddenly worsened, and she passed away. I had to drop out of high school to work at a construction site to support Jacob and myself. I'm gonna get a part-time job too, Harry said. You can't get a part-time job when you're in middle school, you need to focus on your studies, I replied. But I can deliver newspapers, he protested. It's fine, I'm earning enough. Don't worry, I reassured him. Jay kept offering to work part-time to help out. I want you to study, get into a good school, and go to college so you don't have to worry about work in the future. I don't mind working as much as it takes for that, I told him. Hearing this, Harry finally started focusing on his studies, entered a prestigious high school, and steadily advanced to college. Now, he works at a top-notch company, and as a woman he wants to marry. As his older brother, I couldn't be happier. Can I bring my fiancée to your apartment on your next day off? Harry asked me. Here, all right, I'll make sure to clean up, I replied, looking forward to it. On my next day off, I nervously met Harry's fiancée, Sarah Rose, for the first time. Nice to meet you. I'm Harry's older brother, Steve. Please, come in, I greeted her. Nice to meet you. Do you live here? She asked. Yeah, this is my brother's apartment, Harry answered, while she looked puzzled. But I guess she was just not used to coming into a bachelor's apartment and continued the conversation. Yes, sorry, so cramped. I work at a construction site and usually only come home to sleep, so I don't mind the small space. I never thought Harry would bring his girlfriend here, I said. I met Daisy through a client, and we're planning to get engaged soon, Harry revealed, seeing my brother so confident. I was sincerely happy about their engagement. Daisy, maybe due to her quiet personality, didn't say much and just kept giving an awkward smile. She must be from a wealthy family, Harry commented. While we were talking, Harry's phone rang. Sorry, it's a work call, he said, and after he left the room, Daisy finally spoke. You said you work at a construction site, Steve. Which college did you graduate from? She asked. Actually, I started working after my grandparents died, and I had to take care of Harry like a parent. I dropped out of high school, I explained. So you didn't finish high school? She asked. Correct. Unlike Harry, I never liked studying much, and I've been doing the same job since then, I said. I didn't know that Harry's brother dropped out of high school, she said with an audible sigh of disappointment. I don't regret giving up on my education, even now. But having experienced the harsh reality of how society doesn't accept me as a high school dropout, I suddenly felt anxious about whether I might end up causing trouble for my brother, I admitted. I assumed, Steve, that you must have some prestigious profession since Harry is so accomplished, but it seems I was mistaken, she said. A prestigious profession? It's impossible to regain that now. All I ask is that you don't interfere with our happiness. I have no intention of doing that, I want Harry to be happy, I replied. As I said this, she slightly raised the corners of her mouth and gave a fake smile. I could tell she was forcing it. When Harry returned, she grew quiet again. I wondered if Harry knew about her behavior, but I didn't know how to communicate this to him. Steve, thanks for hanging out today, especially on your day off. I'm glad you were able to meet her, Harry said, radiating happiness. Not long after, I received an email announcing their official engagement. Then, about a week before the wedding, I received a call from an unknown number. It was Daisy. Hello, it's Daisy from the other day. Do you remember me? She asked. Just hearing her speak reminded me of our previous encounter, and I felt a tinge of discomfort. Of course, I remember you. Is something wrong? I asked. I have a small favor to ask of you today, a favor for me. Is it some surprise for the wedding? If there's anything I can do, just let me know, I jovially responded, buoyed by the thought of helping. Yes, about the wedding. Could you perhaps not attend? She asked. Excuse me, not attend? I can't imagine not being there for Harry's wedding, I'm his only family. You may not be aware, but my father is a senior executive at a bank. It's frowned upon for him to attend a ceremony where the other party has no parents or relatives, so we thought we might hire some actors to attend. Actors? There's a service that provides people to play the roles of families and relatives. They'll come if we ask. So we thought we'd go that route. And Harry is okay with this. Well, the wedding is for me after all. I plan to discuss this with him, so could you perhaps tell Harry that you have a work conflict? No, please do so. I highly doubt Harry would agree to this. I want to celebrate him too. If we don't do this, we might not even be able to hold the wedding. It was hard enough to get my father to approve of our marriage, so please don't interfere anymore. You're calling the brother of your future husband an interference? There was a pause on the other end of the line, followed by a small sigh. I just don't understand why you, with no education to boast of or any respectable job, feel entitled to attend. Frankly, it would be embarrassing for us. With that, she hung up. I was left stunned. For the first time, I felt ashamed of myself. Granted, I'm not someone impressive, being a high school dropout, and it seemed that even getting approval for their marriage was a struggle because of me. I didn't want to cause Harry any embarrassment. That was the one thing I wanted to avoid. So, I decided to call Harry. Hey, then it's referee to call, what's up? Actually, about the wedding, I've got a work commitment that day I cannot miss. I'm really sorry, but I won't be able to attend. What? Why? I thought you cleared your schedule for that day. Yes, I had. As the supervisor on site, it was hard for me to take a day off, but I made arrangements for that day. I thought about my coworkers who said, "You have to go on that day, congratulate Harry for us," and I felt a surge of emotions. I can't get out of it since I'm the supervisor. I can't leave. I see. That's disappointing. But if you can make it, even if it's for a short while, please come. I want you to be there. I got it. If I finish early, I'll be there. Congratulations, Harry. Yeah, thank you. Promise me, okay? After hanging up the phone, tears wouldn't stop streaming down my face as I pondered on Harry's emotions. The fact that he wanted me, his imperfect brother, to be present at his wedding was somewhat consoling. I felt as if I had regained a fragment of my bruised self-esteem that Daisy had shattered. On the day of the wedding, with no particular place to go, I decided to go fishing to escape my suffocating loneliness at home. It's something I hadn't done much of since I started working, but I always had a favorite fishing spot. There's a place where I wouldn't run into any of my colleagues. As I cast my fishing line, the familiar feeling made me tear up all over again. I was alone, and for a while, I wanted to cry freely. I wanted to release my feelings of frustration, loneliness, and pity for Harry into the ocean. After having a good cry, I suddenly sensed a presence. When I turned around, I recognized a figure standing with a fishing rod. Oh, Mr. Groan. I quickly wiped my tears with my sleeve and turned around again. Mr. Groan was wearing a nostalgic smile. Steve, it's been a while since you've come here. What makes you look so sad? You're observant as ever. Embarrassed that he'd see me crying, I told Mr. Groan everything about why I couldn't attend the wedding, laughing and crying as I did so. If anyone could soothe my turbulent heart, it would be Mr. Groan. I had such a hunch. That's harsh, Steve. You're an admirable man with no reason to feel ashamed. I know that better than anyone else. To help make him cry, hey, Steve, do you think this is the place to be crying? But if I show up, will I interfere with Harry's happiness? Do you think your brother will truly be happy if his big brother doesn't come to his once-in-a-lifetime wedding? Well, I remembered what Harry told me. He said he wanted me to come, even if I was late. You should go. Come on, get going. Thanks, Mr. Groan. All right, I'll go. I hurried home to get ready for my beloved brother. Each word of Mr. Groan's pushed me forward. When I arrived at the wedding venue, Harry and Daisy were still waiting in the backstage room. Bro, you made it in time. I'm so glad, said the joyful Harry. Next to him, Daisy suddenly made a sour face. Well, this is inconvenient. Why is it inconvenient for my brother to come? I had to invite someone to fill his seat since he said he couldn't come. That's why. Probably some sort of fake relative, I suppose. With the wedding entrance time closing in, Daisy seemed more irritable and frantic than usual. I just wanted to congratulate Harry today. When I said this dermally, she finally blew up. Steve, this isn't what we agreed on, is it? Why won't you listen to me? We're running out of time. That's because I'm Harry's brother, and with brotherly love, I'm so tired of it. How would it look if someone found out that the groom's brother is someone like you, a high school dropout? Even in front of Harry, Daisy yelled. My dad told me to kick you out, so don't move. Suddenly, the backstage door swung open roughly, and Daisy's father came in, looking flustered. Daisy, where was Steve? Wait, what? What's going on, Dad? She asked. One of our bank's major clients just contacted us, wanting to close their account. The bank is in panic mode. When I asked for the reason, they said it was you, Daisy's father explained. What, me? Daisy interrupted. Yes, apparently they said they would cease all transactions with us unless you change your disrespectful attitude towards Steve. They suspect it's a matter of dignity, Daisy's father explained. Daisy glared at me sharply. Steve, did you do something like spreading rumors to damage my reputation on social media or something? She asked. I have no idea what you're talking about. I don't understand how my name came up in this, I replied, completely clueless about the situation. Daisy's attitude, breaking the agreement. You mean the reason you suddenly couldn't come was because Daisy arranged it? Harry asked, suspicion creeping into his voice. That's a terrible thing to say. Daisy began, probably searching for an excuse. I cut off whatever she was going to say. I made up my mind not to come because she called me a disgrace, but I realized I was wrong and rushed over, I admitted. Hang on, Steve, Harry was stunned. Daisy, did you tell my brother he's a disgrace? Because. Daisy stammered, struggling to find her words. Ignoring her flustered state, Harry spoke in a stern voice. Thanks to Steve, I managed to get through college. I can't thank him enough. I'm sorry, I'm truly sorry. It's okay, Harry. You don't need to apologize to me, I comforted him. Then Harry glared at Daisy. Daisy, we're gonna have to call off this wedding. That's okay with you, right, Mr. Garcia? If that's what it takes for them to forgive us, I have no problem with it, her father replied. But wait, Daisy tried to argue, but her father had already left. He probably had to deal with the bank, so the wedding dissolved without the bride and groom even making an entrance. According to Harry, Daisy ended up losing her job at the bank due to losing their trust, and her father received disciplinary actions, getting transferred and demoted to a different state. Daisy didn't want to leave, so she came crying to Harry and told him everything, but Harry had no lingering feelings for Daisy. Hearing about what she had done to me and realizing her true nature had a significant impact. Apparently, her coworkers didn't think highly of her either, and this message from the major client was the final straw, Harry explained. I see. But let's be glad we found out her true colors before you two got married, I suggested. Yeah, that's true. By the way, aren't you curious about who the major client is? Harry asked. I guess so. Who could it be? I work in construction. I don't know anyone who could shake up a bank that much. Actually, there's one person who comes to mind, Harry said. He had looked into who the major clients might be, and one of the company's chairman's names looked familiar. Do you know Mr. Groen's first name? He asked. Mr. Groen? I remember our grandpa used to call Mr. Groen by his first name, often referring to him as Tom, Tommy, or even Thomas. Yeah, I think it's Thomas, I confirmed. Bingo. Did you tell Mr. Groen about the wedding, Steve? Yeah, I did, but Harry was grinning from ear to ear as he told me about Mr. Groen. It turned out Mr. Groan was the chairman of a major corporation that their bank does business with. On my next day off, I went out fishing again. Despite the urgency in my heart, my legs weren't keeping up, and I stumbled my way to my usual fishing spot. Mr. Groan. Hey there. Did the wedding go smoothly? Mr. Groan was smiling broadly at his usual spot. Mr. Groan, I said, feeling a sense of relief. Steve, you've been crying a lot lately. You weren't such a crybaby before. I'm sorry for troubling you with my complaints. Trouble? You're my fishing buddy, Steve. I care about Harry just like you do. It's only natural to help a friend. So don't worry about it. Besides, you shouldn't be thinking about anything when you're fishing, Mr. Groan said reassuringly. I nodded and sat down next to Mr. Groan, casting my fishing line into the water. All that seemed like a distant memory as I was back to my usual busy work life. Well, it's not exactly the same as before. There were changes happening around me, Mr. Zahn said. I made too much of this. Would you like some? My typical fast food lunch had recently turned more interesting. That's because the new secretary has been finding reasons to bring me homemade lunches, he explained. She was Mr. Groan's granddaughter, and I vaguely remembered her mentioning that she had been the little girl Mr. Groan brought along when he used to come fishing with us. You were my first crush, and I could never forget. I can't believe you just remembered me, she pouted as she said this, but the next moment, she was smiling. I had grown fond of her lily disposition, and now she had become someone important to me. I told Harry I had a girlfriend via email, and that same night, I received a call from him after a long time. Introduce me to your girlfriend, bro. I'll bring my girlfriend too. Apparently, Harry had a new girlfriend too. The fishing that my grandfather taught me was a solace to my young mind back then. Now it's become a bond with the people I care about. It's a lovely day today according to the weather forecast. Looks like we're in for a few days of clear skies. I plan to invite my girl on a fishing date with me this weekend.